So I did a video last night, and then I had to end it kind of quickly. I had some things I had to do. I can't remember where I left off in that video. I just remember basically saying that, like, I was on a path to recovery, healing, and growing, and actually using the tools that I have learned about in the last few years. I was using that stuff, and I just feel like everything kind of like went away, like with a snap of a finger. Just everything went away, and my mood has been very I don't know, like I'm on autopilot, and I have been struggling with being extremely agitated or getting very irritable, just not being able to handle what I was just months ago, like just not doing things the way I was, multitasking and, just getting the damn thing done, good or bad, just solving the problem and getting at it. And, I don't know what happened. I really don't know. I just know that, so we develop our own personalities and attitudes and character and whatnot. Sometimes we have to learn how to, for lack of better words, adjust our attitudes, If somebody would have told me, years back that I needed an attitude adjustment, I would have tried to lay them the fuck out, really. But now I look at it different, because first of all, you can't just talk to somebody and be like, oh, you need an attitude adjustment. Like, you got to watch the way you talk to people, but that's irrelevant. What I'm saying is, so we have to look deep inside of ourselves for the answers, okay? We have to constantly practice new behaviors in order to achieve this sense of self that we want, okay? I don't want to be this agitated, irritable, negative, miserable person, or seem like it, or whatever. I want to be grateful for those things that we really do seem to overlook, which is just simply waking up in the morning, having a roof over our head, having something to put on our back, having something to, put in our bellies. Just those little things. And just go about my day being grateful that I'm able to work. And people used to say this shit to me, and I'd be like, oh, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? But it's really the truth. Like, we have to, I won't say I have to learn how to be a different person almost. I have to learn how to react to life differently. And I think that what happens is we get so caught up in life that sometimes our brains automatically, and this is a fact, it automatically goes back to what's familiar, what's comfortable. Maybe not comfortable to us, but what the brain is comfortable with, what it's familiar with, okay? So it goes back to those habits and the way that we used to survive. But that just doesn't work for us anymore. So we have to create a new environment for our brain. And I think, we get caught up in life because that's life, and it gets lifey, and it gets like real fucking hard. And I think that because we don't always catch the loophole, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we're doing good for a bit, then we have this week or 2 weeks where like everything's going to shit, bam, 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 and then you forget that you're trying to work on yourself, and you're trying to be somebody that you want to be, and act how you want to be, how you want to act, and learn a new behavior. But because your brain is so overwhelmed with all this fucking chaos, it like pushed that aside and was like, you know what, let's just, we can't handle all that right now because that's unfamiliar to us. Let's go back to being what's familiar. Acting irritated, acting, maybe negative or miserable or whatever. And that's the fucking loophole, okay? If we can catch it before we react, then we can change how our brain thinks and operates. And it's so fucking hard, man. It's just so fucking hard. And I just think that that's what happened to me. Like, I mean, there's other shit that goes into all that. But like, I don't know. Like, you gotta. It's a constant. What do I want to say here? Like, constant learning experience. Constant, constantly learning to be aware of, I was driving, don't judge me. I was looking at the road, and I was holding this over here, and I was on a back road, so. But, yeah, I mean, like, oh my god, this video is so fucking long. Nobody's gonna want to fucking watch this shit. We just have to be aware, okay? And mindful. And it takes time. And that's where we have to give ourselves grace. Because I'm 35 years old. I have been living a certain way, for most of my life. Enduring different traumas, different setbacks, addiction, blah, 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 bipolar, blah, 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 whatever. We all have our shit, okay? And you gotta think, like, it took this long for this brain to be how it is. Shit's not gonna change overnight. Just like addiction, you know what I mean? It takes time. And it takes incorporating new things into your life for the rest of your life, basically, so you don't get back into that rabbit hole. And I don't know, man. I mean, I know that, like, I'm trying to just keep saying to myself, we got this, and we're going to do this, and we got, and I know that fucking later, I might have my 4-year-old screaming and being a little shit ass, and, my daughter is being a little brat because she's hormonal, and, there's so much shit, so much fucking shit. But I just, I have to go back to basics. And, I just wanted to share that. And I think that I'm going to just start doing what I was doing before and just making these videos and throwing them up there on my channel and seeing, it, like I said, it helps me to be able to vent and get this stuff out. And hopefully it can just reach somebody else. And with that, I'm going to go into work. Today's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. And if anybody's watching, I appreciate it. Thank you. And stay strong.